The power of diversity for a community is that each and every person brings their unique skills, talents, personality, and challenges, right? And that comes to the mix. If anybody is marginalized, pushed out of community, we all lose out because they're not bringing whatever it is uniquely them. What we bring is something that is greater than the sum of its parts.
My son David is 46 years old, and he is so fortunate to be in a program called Supported Living.
So as a person with a disability, when we were born, we didn't choose to have a disability. People with disabilities are very brilliant. They can do a lot of different things.
We all come to this work because of the loved ones we've had. I think that's why it's so important to make sure that we have representation in our various communities so that we can reach out and say, hey, we're all here and we're all going to work together to make sure our loved ones are supported and thriving.
We have programs called Supported Living. Being a member of a community, living on their own, in their own home, it isn't a cookie cutter kind of approach. The key is it's customized to an individual. We have services that support people to explore what they're good at and then to go and find that job that makes you feel good about what you do each day.
Yes, it's a funded program and there's a bureaucracy, but it's all invisible to him. People are hired not to work in a program. They're hired because they're going to be a good fit for my son.
It's going to be a struggle to deal with all the different entities, but you can find a job and you can be successful. I want to say the country, people with disabilities can have fulfilling lives. I know people with disabilities are doctors, and people with disabilities that have their own families, people with disabilities have their own businesses. So there's a lot of possibility for people with disabilities.
So in terms of me as a father, I get to go visit my son in his home. In the past, for example, David has been one of maybe 6 or 7 adults living in one house. It's impossible for each individual to have their own life in that kind of a setting. Think of any other adult child that you or anyone else might have.
This is something that many of us take for granted, but it's the trend we're now seeing as an included and member of the community. A real shift to recognizing individuals as fully human.
And I want to say to all the parents out there, your children can have fulfilling lives.
Ultimately, the goal for us is to change language around how we engage each other. Instead of those people, it's my neighbor. J. Nolan Community Services started in 1975 as the Autism Society of Los Angeles. Now, it grew over time, and they came into contact with the actor Lloyd Nolan. Lloyd became the face of the organization, and he was the first sort of Hollywood personality to come out and say, I have a son with autism. Now, Jay had passed away by the time that he had come into contact with the organization, but they did rename the Autism Society in honor of Jay, and it became J. Nolan Community Services.
I joined J. Nolan because the participants here, they are J. Nolan.
One of the things that I always was terrified was that she would be left out, left behind. And so working with J. Nolan, the beauty is that, you know, they're trying to bring every member of the community in. So that's exciting to me, to ensure that everyone gets to participate is important and meaningful for me.
For people with disabilities, there's hope out there.
My son David was with group homes, and we heard about something called supported living. What I have since learned is that J. Nolan kind of was a pioneer in developing this model decades ago.
We stepped into a gap of person-centered services. There was a time that term didn't even exist. And we want people to be part of their community. And we really revolutionized the focus on people as individuals and started supported living. People living in their own home, in community, being a part of a neighborhood.
You know, one of the things I say often is that my son is not in a program, he's in a life.
One of the reasons why we moved to the United States is because my sister is Down syndrome. She would have had no opportunities in Korea. I love that J. Nolan is reaching out to the Korean community, to the Latino community, to the deaf and hard hearing community, and these communities have always been in need.
We're excited about being able to come into new communities as a partner, as a humble servant of that community. Not, we have all the answers, but how can we help?
Dave's primary caregiver has been with us for over 10 years. Nothing short of life-changing for David, my son. He has his own life now. This is his home. In some ways, it's like, well, why didn't we think of this before?
But Jay Nolan is making a point of reaching out to them and inviting them to join our community so that we can be supportive of each other, which is so important. People need to be invited, they need to be represented, and they need to be centered. And Jay Nolan does that, which makes me very proud to be part of it.